What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in today for a live and virtual homebuyer seminar. We titled this event the Buyer Spring Market Madness, not only because March Madness basketball tournament occurring right now, but also the time of the year when home buyers and sellers begin their house hunting efforts and put up their home for sale. The activity in the real estate market really begins to pick up following these winter months, and it can be a madness with the amount of buyers and sellers that are entering the market. Before I jump into things, I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and if you have any questions, feel free to comment below. Also, be sure to like and share our video. It really does help our business, and we greatly appreciate you doing so. And if you don't already know who I am, my name is Austin Assad, your local realtor with Keller Williams. I am also on Stewart Team Homes. I'm a recent grad from the school up north, the University of Michigan, but please don't hold that against me. I mentioned that I am on a team. My two other teammates is Sean Stewart, who's been in the business for 25 years, and Zoe Breeze, our director of operations, who is extremely helpful, does a lot of work behind the scenes, and really helped put this seminar together. Taking a look at our agenda, some of the main discussion points that we'll be talking about, the current housing market, the benefits of buying, the home buying process, some important tips, and concluding with a summary. Our goal here today is to make sure you have learned at least one thing, so you'll be ready when the time comes around. You don't need to know everything about the home buying process. That is where you have us as agents to help you out and guide you along in the home buying process. From house hunting online all the way to the end when you get the keys in possession of your dream home. So, taking a look at the current real estate market and where we are today, home prices have continued to climb despite being in an economic downturn, which was caused by COVID-19. Today, the average list price for homes in Northeast Ohio is actually 27.1% higher compared to this time last year. And if you don't know, the real estate market is seasonal, which is why you see the graph go up and down throughout the past 2 or 3 years. Here at the end, the average list price right here is what we see at $290,000. And the sold price typically follows because on average it takes 30 to 45 days from a home to go under contract and actually close. So we see this trend of, as for sale price starts to increase, the sold price will follow. So we expect, the sold price here to follow this upward trend. And the only thing that would stop this upward trend, if there's a significant increase in supply or, a reduced amount of demand from if we experience high interest rates. I will talk about these two main factors, supply and the interest rates, in the upcoming slides. So this market that we are in today is what we call an extreme seller's market. What does this mean? It basically means that the inventory is low and demand is high. And because of that, sellers have complete control in this market. The two main factors that are driving the seller's market is the near all-time low interest rates and inventory. Before we talk about the interest rates, here is the graph that demonstrates and allows you to visualize where our current inventory is at. End of February, all the way to our right, we had 4,344 homes for sale in Northeast Ohio. This may seem like a lot, but it's actually not. Inventory has dropped 57.1% since this time last year. And because real estate is seasonal, we should have had an increase in the amount of homes coming up for sale last February. But this didn't occur because of COVID, and most homeowners that planned on selling didn't because of the uncertainty and fear of COVID-19. Thinking back to what you learned in school about back in the day about supply and demand, we are currently in the market that's under supply of homes up for sale, and this scarcity has helped drive up home prices. In addition, interest rates have been an all-time low, which has helped motivate potential home buyers get a discount on a mortgage loan for the home that they purchase. This combination has drove home buying activity up, and today we have 8.8% more homes under contract than this time last year. And taking a look at the graph, the homes that are sold, the dark green bars, they're actually higher in 2020 than in 2019. And I mentioned about the interest rates being at an all-time low. Today, we sit at 3.17% for a 30-year fixed rate mortgage, which is one of the more common loan terms that buyers choose. And relatively speaking, this amount is at an extreme discount. 2 years ago today, we're looking at a near 5% interest rate, and 10 to 15 years ago, the interest rates were near 10%. So historically speaking, it is a great time to buy, even though home prices are higher. The low interest rate and high prices actually offset in most cases. If you bought the same home today at the same purchase price and lower interest rate compared to this time last year, your monthly payment is significantly lower. And we do see a slight increase here at the end of February and March, the slight increase right here in the interest rate. And I do predict this number to get around 3.5% as we move along in 2021. Here in this slide, I have a comparison as to if you were to purchase the same home and keep all the variables the same, such as purchase price and the down payment amount, how the change in interest rate would affect your monthly mortgage payment. As you can see on the left, I put what we have today, 3.17% interest rate, and factoring in the mortgage loan cost with principal, interest, and private mortgage insurance only, your monthly payment is around $704. And if we increase that percentage point by 1, your monthly payment increases by nearly 80. And then to the right, we have if your interest rate was at 5%, which was what we had 2 years ago, this is $150 from the $150 higher than the 3.175 interest rate. And the difference in $150 a month may not seem like a lot, but over the life of the loan, that's tens of thousands of dollars. That's interest paid to the bank on the money that you borrowed, so it's lost. So I've gone over the market and where we are today. Now you may be asking the important question, why should I buy a home? The first benefit is having ownership of the property and the pride to call it home. You have the freedom to renovate it and make the home exactly how you want. You also have the security knowing that you don't have to worry about picking up and moving on a moment's notice because the landlord is selling the home or not allowing you to re-sign the lease agreement. Buying a home is also an investment where you can build equity over time. And an easy way to conceptualize this is thinking your home as an investment is thinking your home as a piggy bank. And for every mortgage payment you have, a large portion of your mortgage payment, called the principal amount, goes into your piggy bank. And if you're a renter, the money that you pay each month is lost. It goes directly to the landlord. You pay down his mortgage loan, and he keeps the money that's left over. Doesn't seem too fair, huh? Um, Next, you also get to build good credit. So by paying your monthly mortgage on time, every month, your credit score will go up over time. And then finally, there are also tax benefit associated with buying the home, owning it, fixing it up, and eventually when you sell your home. And as you can see, there are numerous benefits, but like Uncle Ben from Spider-Man said, with great power comes great responsibility. So a couple of the responsibilities is making sure that you are paying your monthly mortgage on time, you are paying your property taxes, you're having insurance and paying for that, making sure to pay all repairs and maintenance. If the dishwasher or hot water tank fails, you can't just call your landlord saying, "Hey, can you come fix the dishwasher? It's no longer working." That responsibility is up to you because you do own the home. And then it's up to you to purchase your own appliances and any equipment necessary. So I lost where was that? Okay. So some of the home ownership costs that are associated with the owning a home, the loan fees, credit report fee, appraisal fee, the earnest money deposit, down payment, and closing costs. We'll go over some of those terms right there in the future slides, but those can be relatively minor, but you may be thinking to yourself, these are some of the smaller costs associated with buying, but I don't have $150,000 in the bank to purchase a home. That's okay. You don't have to have the full amount. You can have something called a mortgage loan, which is a portion of the purchase price will be reduced by your down payment, and then the remaining amount can be borrowed from a bank, a credit union, or a mortgage company. So here are the ways to purchase a home. Obviously, if you have cash, great. If not, other options is the mortgage loan. And here are 4 different types of loan products out there. Conventional FHA. FHA is common among first-time home buyers, where you can do 3.5% of the purchase price as your down payment. VA if you're a veteran, or USDA. And so in order to qualify for a mortgage loan, there are 3 main factors that you must consider and the lender will consider. Most lenders approve a credit score above 600, and a general guideline for you to follow for your debt to income is for it to be making sure that number is below 43%, meaning if your income is about $4,000 per month, your debts can't exceed $1,720. And then around making sure you have around 8 to 12% of the home's purchase price in the bank to comfortably purchase the home. And there's exceptions to these rules, but these are kind of general basic guidelines for you to follow. And so if you have this mortgage loan, you're going to have monthly mortgage payments, and it's made up of several components. The first being the principal. This is the amount that you originally agreed to pay back. You also have another component called the interest. This is a component that you pay back to the lender for the cost of borrowing the amount of money. Other monthly payments that are associated with your mortgage, property taxes, the homeowner's insurance, HOA if you're buying a condo, and there's landscaping, community amenities such as a pool, property upkeep. This additional expense will be added. There's also a thing called private mortgage insurance, which is PMI. This helps offset the lender's risk when a borrower makes a low down payment. So if there's a low down payment on the loan, the lender has more risk associated with the transaction if the borrower was to fail to make a payment. This PMI applies to a borrower that puts less than 20% down. So let's say you put 5% down on your home, you're going to have an extra $100, $150 on your monthly payment in the form of the insurance. Over time, let's say you did do the 5% down, and then over time you build equity in the home, and then once your equity goes above 20%, that private mortgage insurance no longer applies. One thing I would recommend you to do is when you are looking at homes for sale and you're playing around with numbers and trying to determine your budget and how much home you can afford, take a look at the purchase price, input it to the mortgage calculator. I know Zillow has one, Keller Williams has one. They're all over online, but pick one out and start inputting some of these numbers to get an idea of what your monthly payment would be. As you can see, I screenshotted some examples. This example was 3.5% down on a $200,000 home. As you can see right here, my mortgage payment at $802 with the principal and interest, additional homeowner insurance cost, taxes and fees associated. And for the $200,000 home with 3.5% down for this example, my monthly payment is around $1,300. So when you're qualifying for a loan and you're talking with the lender, they will need to verify what those three examples that I said you need is money in the bank, credit, and your debt to income ratio. But you'll need to provide some of documentation to prove this, such as W-2s, tax returns, bank statements, some of these documents that are necessary to confirm and make valid of your what you're saying to get the official pre-approval to purchase a home. Where can I find a mortgage lender? You can contact your local bank, a credit union, a mortgage company. Below, I added 3 mortgage companies who we have done business with in the past: Liberty Home Mortgage, First Federal Lakewood, Fairway Independent Mortgage. So once you determine you want to buy a home, reaching out to one of these mortgage lenders and basically saying, hey, I'm looking to buy a home, and get the pre-approval. A quick did you know? Did you know that you can qualify to purchase a $150,000 home with an annual income of $40,000? Your current monthly debts at $300,000, whether that's student loans, car payments, etc., and using a down payment of 5%. With those factors, you can qualify for a $150,000 home. I think that's important to note, that this is possible, because first-time home buyer, like, oh, you may be thinking that $150,000 home may be out of reach, but it's more possible than you may think. So I talk about what the mortgage lender. The next component to your team when you're making a real estate purchase is having a good realtor or real estate agent, I put down what is agency. So agency is when a buyer or seller is represented by a real estate agent, in which they perform to take on they perform tasks on behalf of the client and act in their best interests. So whether you're a buyer or seller, you can have an agent consult and help you out in the transaction. It is important to note that just because a person has their real estate license doesn't mean they're a good fit for you. Not all agents are the same, as you would never go to a random lawyer or doctor to ask them to do a job without doing further research on them. And the key ingredients to making a great real estate agent and winning in this competitive market is having an agent that can move quickly, whether that's scheduling a showing or giving another agent a call for more details about a home. They need to be knowledgeable about the market and the home. You must be comfortable working with them and trust them. Also, locality is not as important of a trait as it used to be. All agents have access to the homes that are up for sale and the information about them. And then having someone that is a consultant rather than a salesperson. Here at Stewart Team Homes, we go about we approach our clients with a consultative approach to helping you guys. We will present you with all options and the possibilities, and allow you to make the decision as to what best fits your needs. So additional benefits of working with us: you get representation, you get the access to the MLS, the multiple listing service, which is the database where realtors upload the homes that are newly listed or coming soon. So you'll get access to that. You'll have we have the market knowledge. You get the guidance throughout the home buying process. We can help prepare the purchase agreement and handle all the legal paperwork for you. We have an incentive to succeed. So we are motivated to help you along in the process, because we only earn our commission when you get possession of the home. And finally, it's no cost to you. Commissions are paid for by the seller. And kind of went over the market, the benefits of buying, the benefits of working with an agent, and now we're at the home buying timeline, which begins with getting that pre-approval, working with a real estate agent, and here at step 5, beginning the house hunting search online. Once we identify the home that you like, we can schedule an in-person showing for you, and hopefully that home that we saw, that you love it, so you decide you want to write an offer to purchase the home. And after that, the plan is to get the offer accepted. And once the offer is accepted, within the first 3 days, earnest money deposit must be made. I will go over this term more in depth in the future slide, but the earnest money deposit is to be made. We schedule the home inspector within the first 7 to 10 days. Step 10, you apply for the mortgage loan. Step 11, the appraisal is ordered by the lender. Step 12, you order home ownership policy. 13 is a title search. 14, we review the reports from the general home inspector, and remove any contingencies that were in the way to getting to the closing table. Step 15, we finally get the loan approval. Step 16, we coordinate closing. Step 17, we do a final walkthrough. Step 18, funds are wired and transferred from the lender to the seller. And step 19, title is transferred. And step 20, you finally get possession of the new home. So going a little more in detail and in depth, like I said, you begin house hunting online. You can do so at our Stewart Team Homes website. The benefits to this is it's super user friendly, and the homes that you do like, right then and there, you can click on one and schedule a showing with your favorite Stewart Team Homes realtor, whether that's me or Sean. And then, once you request a showing, we will coordinate a showing with you in person. And if you like the home, we begin to write up the purchase agreement and negotiate the terms. And then once the parties have accepted, the earnest money is due. So the earnest money is the buyer's good faith money, which is deposited into a third-party escrow account. On average, it's 2% of the purchase price. So there has to be a reason, meaning one of the contingencies, whether that's the home inspection, the appraisal, or your ability to finance. The reason being one of the contingencies goes south, then you get your earnest money back. If you decide just to walk away from the deal for no reason, you will forfeit your earnest money to the seller. This is can be a selling point in when you write an offer. Having a stronger earnest money shows you're a motivated buyer. It's important to note that this amount goes towards your down payment on the loan. So if your down payment is 5% and you did an earnest money of 3%, and you did the 3% earnest money, in the end, you'll only need to come up with the remaining 2%. The general home inspection is a important piece to the timeline. This is when, if you decide to hire a general home inspector, they will take a look at the home. Usually takes about an hour and a half, depending on the size of the home. What they do is take a look at the functionality of the home and look for any major issues. This is a cost around $450 to have them inspect the home, but they take a lot of pictures and make a lot of notes. They provide you with an 80-page report with a lot of minor, hopefully no major items, but very in-depth, and it's their job to find something wrong with the home. Having a general home inspector gives you the confidence that you're making a sound investment. So the home appraisal is one of the next contingencies, and what this is an assessment of your the current market value of the home. This protects you as the buyer so you don't overpay for the home, but the bank is also making sure that they're lending the correct amount for the home. Because if you say, I want to buy this $200,000 home for $1 million, especially in this crazy market, and you think you want to have a loan on that won't work out because the home won't appraise for the $1 million purchase price. That's an extreme example, but I hope you get the point. And then, after, I talked about the removal of contingencies after we look at the home inspection report, the buyer and seller will review, and the buyer does, and you review what you negotiate. You can have the seller repair some of the issues with the home. You can take it as is if a lot of the items were minor, and you agree to the terms. Like I mentioned, the home ownership policy is necessary. Mortgage companies do require this. And then, moving along towards the end of the timeline, where we will have the final walkthrough. This will happen 2 to 3 days prior to closing, and just making sure that you're buying what you expect. There's nothing damaged with the home. If you ask for the pool table that's in the basement and the sellers took it with them, this is where we can put a halt in the buying process. And if you're not buying what you expected, there would be an issue. So this is why we have the final walkthrough. And then the getting possession, on average, it's 30 to 45 days from the initial offer acceptance, where we kind of plan it out. So it's a week of transferring funds, writing and for signing and transferring the title, and then finally you get in possession. So yeah, that's our 20-step home buying process, and there's a lot that goes into it, but we as your agents really guide you throughout the entire process. So a couple home buying tips is be sure to do your research, know the wants and the needs that you want in a home, determine what location and neighborhood is important to you, do your research on the agent you're going to be working with, and the mortgage companies, whether that's comparing rates. That could be an example of doing some research. Another tip is, start saving 3 to 6 months ahead of time. Begin to pay off bad debt. Saving is important because you want to have money in the bank to pay for the down payment. Don't make any large purchases or open new credit lines. Don't go, if you plan on buying in the near future, don't go out there and buy a car so you have no money in the bank, or have a new credit line that will affect your debt to income ratio. And then I talked about a lot about the home inspection. It's their job to find problems, no matter what, because that's what you're paying them for. It's just important to keep in mind, focusing on what major items are wrong with the home, and then we ask the seller to repair them. And then tip 5, don't be afraid to ask any and all questions. There's a lot that goes into purchasing a home, and don't be afraid to ask any questions. So what's next? Whether you're thinking about purchasing this month, 6 months from now, or 5 years from now, it's very beneficial to get started today. You'll be more informed, more prepared, and more confident when that time comes around and you're ready to make a purchase. I want to thank you for tuning in. We hope to hear from you soon. Please call us today to schedule your consultation, by texting. This is my personal cell phone number, 330-541-6918. Feel free to shoot me a text. Let me know your thoughts, and we get a consultation scheduled. Let me know your search criteria, and we can start looking for homes. Thanks for tuning in, and please comment, like, and share the video. Talk to you guys soon. Thanks.